Merry Christmas from your festive Global Jukebox. Global Jukebox. Live from the south coast of England, this is Play 2 UK. Tommy Boyd. Call 01243 55 60 60. Email studio@playradiouk.com. Skype play.radio.uk. Now, live from the south coast of England, the Tommy Boyd Show, only on Play 2 UK.
Good evening and welcome, and thank you to Steve for 8 until 10 on Play Radio UK, Play 2 this is, and Play Talk is coming to Play 2 in the middle of January. We're lining up a schedule, which I'll be able to tell you a bit more about very soon. And it's all very exciting, and we're looking forward to it. And one of the several things that I'm looking forward to is making good use of the creative and commercial freedoms. Creative first, but the commercial freedoms are interesting as well. But the creative freedoms of being able to express what we want to say, and being able to go down roads with conversations and subjects that you just don't hear anywhere else. Because, quite frankly, at the moment, everybody in broadcasting, conventional broadcasting, old media, as some people call it, but still distinguished it can be, are shit scared, basically. Shit scared. You know? And therefore this is a perfect opportunity for you listening and for us to take a little journey into our own hearts and minds and soul on air and take conversations to places that, other broadcast organisations, new media we call ourselves, because we're going to be bringing you pictures, just could only dream of, journeys they could only dream of. It's myself and Nick Eve until 12 o'clock. Hello.
Hello.
There you are. And good day if you're listening live. No, hello if you're... Good evening if you're listening in the UK. Good day if you're listening around the world. This is turning into a David Frostism. I must stop it. Hello if you're podcasting at us at some future date. I hope it's not so far in the future that I'm dead.
I hope that as well.
Well, it'll happen.
You just don't know, do you?
You see, it's one of the great things. Wouldn't it be great to have heard a podcast of Henry VIII? To hear what the bugger sounded like. You get a better handle on history, wouldn't you? It would live. Well, that is now at the disposal of all humanity that comes after us. They're going to be able to take a look at Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
Right, and they will really know what he's like. All we've got of Hitler is those grainy pictures. We're much closer to knowing what Saddam Hussein's like. Not a lot closer, but a good deal closer. And we'll certainly know Clinton and Bush and all the so-called important people. And we'll know the unimportant people as well, like us, you and me.
I know.
And the listener.
Isn't that weird?
Because there'll be YouTube and Google and shite about us all. And in a million years' time, they'll just be able to go back and they'll go...
Still be out there, won't it?
Yeah. Well, we'll come on to the paranormal a little bit later on. I want to talk a bit about the paranormal as the evening unfolds. But first of all, a reminder that it's ourselves and yourself. Our Skype address is play.radio.uk and our email address is studio@playradio.com. One of the things that over the last couple of Tuesday nights has worked rather well. Could you hand me that mouse over on the other side of the studio so I can just, good work, play with the... What's the webcam doing? It's looking at the pair of us. Go to playradio.com. You can choose the webcam and take a look at us and tell us what you think. But what I think is also good fun to do is to swap bits of audio. And this takes a few moments to get going because there are one or two old hands who seem to have a disconcertingly large collection of bits of audio.
I like these. You played me some last night and I really enjoyed them.
Find up a few more after we go and speak to our Atlanta correspondent. Live from the Sunshine State of Georgia, it's Steve. Hello, Steve.
The Peachtree State.
You call yourselves the Peachtree State?
Yes. I think largely due to the peach trees.
It's a healthy punt you have there. I'm going to take $20 of that too.
You look like you've got your... Is that a guitar you're holding?
What I've got... It's a ukulele. And I was... wanted to address, something you said yesterday about the ukulele not ever being able to be sexy and rock and roll.
Okay, well, I can see the pictures of you. I don't think the webcam can get close. So I'll paint the picture. It's not a proper ukulele. It's got It's got sort of a violin guitar style waist. The body of it has a waist. And a ukulele is round, because we have a phrase in England, he couldn't hit a cow's arse with a banjo.
Oh, well, a banjo's round, but a ukulele's slightly different.
No, I'm with Tommy here. Definitely a ukulele in my head is like the shape of a banjo, whereas what you're holding, to me, looks like a sort of small guitar stroke violin. I would never have said that's a ukulele.
A ukulele looks like a small guitar. It's usually got a sound hole in the middle. This one happens to have the F holes, but yeah, normally a ukulele is just like a small guitar.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. That was all right, huh?
Oh, what was that one called?
Just Like Heaven. It's from The Cure.
Okay. Oh. Well, it was very unlike the ukulele that we're used to in this country. Can I just give you your first, and I recommend your last ever listen to a man called George Formby?
Aha. No, he plays the banjo.
Hang on.
I'm leaning on a lamp. I know I look just like a tramp. Oh, you may think I'm hanging round.
And he was huge in the United Kingdom between the wars, which I always thought was pretty worrying. Because our parents had a very low threshold of entertainment, didn't they?
Yeah, I've never been a big fan of that whole Vera Lynn.
Well, you guys had to put up with Bill Rogers, didn't you?
He may be a bit before my time.
Ah. Well,
yeah,
it's the same
like
sort
oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, it's the same sort of syndrome, really. You see these people 30, 40 years on, and you cannot imagine what it was that made your parents laugh.
Yeah. Well, it's weird, because, like, when I went into my parents' record collection, you know, I found stuff like The Doors, The Beatles, George Carlin stuff. My dad's a big Carlin fan. So, yeah, I don't have that.
Were you not? Are you saying that you were not impressed that your father had albums by The Doors and The Beatles?
I didn't know any different.
You see, one of the things that I've been able to do is, because the Rolling Stones are such a fantastic band with such a tremendous sense of anarchy about them, I was able to annoy my parents with the Rolling Stones, and then 35 years later, I now annoy my children with the Rolling Stones, and it's the same argument. Your generation just can't do this.
That's funny, isn't it? You've gone full.
Well, we were lucky enough to have punk.
That punk was
great. My parents just didn't consider that music.
Every time we come up with a good rock star, we send them to New York, and you guys do for them one way or another. Were you a punk, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I sort of prided myself on the fact that I didn't dress like a punk, and I went to all the punk shows, but tried to keep my own sort of identity. But I love that type of music, and that's the type of music I've always played.
Okay, so instead of a torn T-shirt, you had a nice college T-shirt, and instead of a Mohican, you had a nice centre parting, but apart from that, you were a punk.
Yeah, I go to the punk shows wearing my little sweater and polo shirt.
Did you have the token safety pin on it?
No, I didn't even have the token safety. Occasionally, my stuff would be ripped just due to the fact that it had gotten pulled apart at the show in the mosh pit.
Mm. Young white Americans tend not to be terribly rebellious, do they, compared to young white Britons, males at least, for sure, and young black Americans?
Yeah, although it's weird. It seems like you're in England, you're going through what we went through in the 70s when I grew up in New York. The crime problems, the discipline problems, the rebellion, it's... whenever I hear about London, I feel like I've seen this all before.
How many ukuleles have you got, or is that...
Yeah, no, that's the only uke I have. I have a few guitars and a bass.
Do you use your uke on stage much?
I have never, ever used it on stage. The keyboard player in my band plays ukulele. But, yeah, I just picked one up recently because she was playing it in the band, and she left it over at my house one day, and then I just started playing around with it, and I decided I had to buy one off eBay.
It needs a better name. It's got a sort of a... It makes you think of one of those Eastern European mime clowns.
I'm always going to think of George Formby.
Yeah. It just needs a better name. But as embarrassing instruments go, you're not going to get a trombone.
There's a website
go on.
called Uke Hunt, and that's where they have a lot of ukulele information.
That's good. I'm going to look that one up.
That's funny.
That is funny. And you can say that on this station. Any way you like. Okay. Great talking to you, mister.
Yes,
I just wanted to say, you don't have a trombone in your collection.
No.
Okay.
Is that a... Oh, that's not a reference to the sexual act of tromboning.
What is the sexual act of tromboning? How does that work?
It's getting your ass licked while the girl is also, or the guy is also doing what I'm miming on the...
Yeah, okay, luckily I can't see. While the girl
the girl is using her hand on the front while using her tongue in the back.
Oh, I see.
I didn't know that's what it was called.
So you get a kind of... I see that. So she's kissing his ass and working him as if he was a trombone...
That's funny.
At the front.
Yes.
Have you heard that term before, Tom?
No, I'm going to use it very soon, though. It's the kind of thing you need to use once and then it's embedded. So I will... Thank you, Steve. As ever, 5-star stuff.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Do you want to borrow that pen? I can see you're starting to take notes.
That's put a big smile on my face, that has.
Which bit? The website's called Uke Hunt.
Actually, no, that was good, but the tromboning's completely surpassed that.
Yeah. Okay, so email, if you have a moment, studio@playradiouk.com. Skype address is play.radiouk. Our switchboard number, the phones still work, 01243 55 60 60. Had a good day?
I've had a very nice day. Hectic.
What have you been up to?
Well, I was saying earlier to Steve, I'm helping out my friend who works at a doctor's surgery.
Excellent.
And it's just chaos. It was mad in there today, but it's a good little turn.
Coughs and sneezes.
Yeah, just people at this time of year, just crazy. Everybody wants to be ill at this time of year by the looks of it. Well, I think they think, I'll get my illness out the way now before Christmas.
Yeah. Do you feel exposed to all these germs?
Yes,
is
I
that a
do.
concern? Is there anything you do about it? Do you wash your hands more often?
Yes,
than
I
you
definitely do.
Do you?
Yes.
You carry little wet wipes about with you.
Yes.
Bleach wipes.
And I swear by first offence, which you shove up your nose if you think you've got a cold coming, which I think I've got a cold coming every time I come home from there.
Okay, so what's first offence? I've not heard of that.
It's a nasal spray. You know, you just get it from the chemist. And if you think you've got a cold coming, you spray it up your nose. And I don't know how it works, but it works.
It works.
Because I'm so vulnerable to colds, and I've used that. And
you
I
used
don't
to get a lot of colds.
Yeah. There we are.
There we are. Okay. That number again is 01243 55 60 60. Email playradiouk.com. I'm going to start the ball rolling with a little piece of audio, which usually empowers one or two of these sort of amateur librarians, people who go off farming and acquiring bits of audio. And I'm going to pick a little piece, something that we've archived over the last year or so. What do you fancy, Nikki? Something, a piece of actuality of radio, or...?
Yes, I'd like that.
Okay. We found a guy, and we don't think this is particularly cruel. We found a guy called Les Ross. Have you heard of him?
I've heard of him. He used to broadcast in Birmingham, didn't he? For many, many years.
He still does.
Oh, does he? Breakfast show.
And if we can find the worst ever... Listen, if listening, you've got the interview that he did with the guy who appears a lot on The One Show. I can't say the Asian guy, because you're not allowed to do that, and quite rightly too. Who comes... does an ISDN interview with Les, and it is the worst interview ever.
Bring it on.
But yeah, exactly. It's listenable, isn't it? But let's take a listen to Les Ross. This was sent by a listener who has become our unofficial monitor of Les Ross. And every so often he sends us in a little snippet of Les, and here's one. Okay. This is Les showing how little he knows about something.
And so you put the dehumidifier on, and what it does is it takes the damp out of the atmosphere. That's what it does, the humidity. And what amazes me is, in a day, in fact yesterday, in 24 hours, it gathered, there's a little tank in the bottom of it. I don't really know how it works. It's kind of like a fridge backwards or something. And there's kind of air going in one side and out the other and all the rest of it. And the tank that contains the humidity that it captures was full. Well, there was about a gallon of water in there, and you think, how can that be in the air? It doesn't feel damp, it's not raining in here. Do you know what I mean?
So do our car engines need dehumidifiers?
Well, if you left them, of course they're often running and things, aren't they? So I suppose, but I suppose if you left your car, say in the gap.
This is where Les actually, he does that thing when a woman asks a man a question about cars. He feels that he would somehow be diminished if he said, I don't know. But he can't. He's a bloke. And above all, he's Les Ross.
For a long time. The damp would get to it, yeah. But it's just amazing how much there is in a small space in the air. I sound idiotic saying this because I just didn't do science, but it just staggers me because it doesn't feel damp in there. Do you know what I mean?
No.
It's even less damp now. And when I get back down there, there'll be another half gallon in there, I suppose.
It's very interesting.
It's quite interesting, isn't it?
For physics, I usually hate it.
Yeah. Well, but nobody said I knew what I was talking about. So I'm not exactly a physics teacher. You know what I mean? But there we are. But I just thought I'd mention it.
I'm glad.
Les drives me up the wall because he says things like, there you are. There we are. And he's always got that sort of slightly Keith Chegwin. This is really amazing. This is so funny. I can't tell you how funny this is. What's going on here? There you are. Oh, I don't know. And I'm not a physics teacher. But why didn't he drink it? Like, for example, if you're going to be interesting, be interesting. The fact that a humidifier collects water should not be the most shocking thing that you find out during the course of this decade.
Why were they even talking about that?
Well, you can talk about a humidifier. It's I don't know how a humidifier
works. It's not very
works.
interesting,
But I know. And what I would do is I would drink the water. I would get the water. This must be the purest water you can get. So I would get a cup of it and I would bring it into the studio and I would drink it and I would invite my fellow colleagues in the studio to drink it.
Nice little twist on it.
Well, it's interesting.
Yeah.
But what's not interesting is just hearing, Les, dear fellow, meandering on. Did you enjoy that?
I did. Have you got another one?
Well, there's a cruelty about it, isn't there? Do you like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Let's be honest.
All right. Would you like another little bit of Les, or shall I just... You would?
Well, just pick out anything at random, but I like stuff like this.
Okay, yeah, I know. It's fantastic, isn't it? It's like what we're working towards, a show which is going to consist of not so much a disc jockey, but a clip jockey, who'll just come in and play fantastic bits of...
What a good idea.
I know, it is, isn't it? I haven't got Les Ross talking to the guy from The One Show who has written a book about India, I think it is. And Les
I know who
does
you mean, yeah.
substantially the worst interview anybody has ever heard. Poor lad. Really.
But he's been broadcasting for years and years and years. I mean, he's been on that show for about 20-odd years, hasn't he?
And has he got more like that, or was he always?
I don't
like
know.
That? Slightly with that, not
No,
really
I think he's probably
up
always
with
been
us.
a bit like that, hasn't he?
Okay, let's try this one then. This is where a radio quiz caller struggles. Now, we like these, don't we?
This is pure radio magic. Question number 1. Where is the cornea? Where is where? Go on. Where is the cornea? C-O-R-N-E-A. I don't know. You don't know? No. Who's that giving you the answers? You're not allowed to have cheats. So you want to play your joker? Yeah. Right. If you play darts... Do you play darts? Now and again. Now and again. What do you get 50 for? Where have you got to get the dart on the dartboard to get 50? For the bullseye. Yep. So, now you know that. Where's the cornea? Bullseye. 25. No, the bullseye is 50. Yeah. Oh, 25. But, yeah. So the cornea is... 25. It's on the 25 bit of the dartboard. Yeah. No, it's on the body. It's on the human body. Oh, so bullseye. Where's the cornea? On the board. For the bullseye.
Poor bloke. I'm surprised he's
25.
confused.
No, it's nothing to do with bloody darts. Isn't it? No. The clue there was in bullseye. Oh, it's actually on the body. So where's the cornea? 25. Do you work, Gareth?
25.
Pardon? Yeah, I do, yeah. What do you work as? Scaffolder. Scaffolder? Yeah. Any scaffolding ever fallen on your head? No, not yet. No. Whereabouts on your body would you have a cornea? On the head? Yes, somewhere on the head. You need to sort of localise it a little bit more, please. Eyes. In the eyes, yes, is the right answer. And don't panic, there'll be loads more of that stuff late nights between 10 and 1 Monday to Thursday. I suppose Nigel...
It is difficult if you're trying to give somebody a clue to something. You know, I don't think the presenter did a very good job of it, frankly, because I don't think... where do you score 50 on a dartboard? There are much better clues, aren't there?
To an eye.
To an eye.
Yes.
Because the answer he gets is not an eye anyway, it's a bullseye.
I know, exactly.
So
and then you confused him with, like, saying, well, it's not the bullseye, it's the other bit. 25!
25!
Oh, that's funny.
No, it gets better. It's just gone 10 if you're listening in the UK. Good evening. It's Tommy and Nikki this evening. And we've opened up the archive library. So there will be some people listening who have got an extensive, if slightly cause for concern, audio collection of stuff. And if you get a moment, it'd be delightful to receive yours. You can email studio@playradiouk.com, whether it's MP3 or WAV. I think we can pretty much cope with everything. The Skype thing is still up and running if you want to chat to us on Skype or call in on Skype, and I'll get to those chat things. Thank you for all your comments.
I've got a good one I must dig out and give to you.
Oh, please.
It's a guy who's reading the news on a radio station the morning after he's been on a really big night out.
Fabulous.
And he starts his bulletin and you think he's not going to get through it, and he doesn't get through it. He's actually sick live on the air.
He throws up.
Yes.
Superb.
It's very funny. It makes me cry with laughter.
Yeah, every time. You got it as an audio thing, have
yeah.
you? I will take that.
Play 2 UK. Headlines.
Another step's been taken towards a British withdrawal of troops from Iraq. The government there has approved a resolution requiring them to leave the country by the end of July. Defence sources have already indicated forces are likely to start coming home in March. The killer of Rhys Jones will spend the next 22 years in prison. Sean Mercer's been given a life sentence at Liverpool Crown Court. The 18-year-old shot the schoolboy in the neck last August. Rhys bled to death in his mother's arms in a car park in Croxteth. An NHS doctor's facing jail for trying to commit mass murder in terrorist attacks in June last year. Bilal Abdullah drove one of 2 cars packed with gas cylinders, petrol and nails into London, but the devices didn't go off. A day later, he and another man crashed a burning Jeep into Glasgow Airport. The driver later died. One of our listeners who calls in periodically is a taxi driver who was on that rank the afternoon that happened. I don't know if you guys have been talking on your taxi rank about it, but 01243 55 60 is the number. Scientists are slapping a relationship warning on romantic comedies, rom-coms. They say fans of movies like Pretty Woman and You've Got Mail have unrealistic expectations of love. Dr. Biana Holmes from Edinburgh's Heriot Watt University worked on the study, and he says some people need to get back to reality. Blackburn chairman John Williams says the club had no choice but to sack Paul Ince as manager. The former England stars left after just 6 months and 17 games in charge. Williams says poor results mean the club's in danger of becoming stranded at the bottom of the Premier League. And Ray Mathias, who's taking over as joint caretaker boss, says it's a sad day.
Play 2 UK weather.
The weather is very cold at the moment, and it's going to be cold and damp overnight, particularly in the north of England. In the south, cold, but not quite as damp as it is in the north and in Scotland. Temperature dropping to 1 degree centigrade. And tomorrow morning there will be some clear patches across England, spreading from the west as the day develops. But there's always an outside possibility of rain before dusk.
You're up to date on Play 2 UK. PlayRadioUK.com, part of the Something Corporation.
Right then, what was the web address?
PassionOnline.co.uk.
Oh, you would look really sexy in that. Okay, that's in the shopping cart.
Imagine the fun we could have with them.
Yeah. Okay, I've ordered something for you. Something for us. How about this for me?
PassionOnline.co.uk has something for everybody, with a fast, discreet delivery service, competitive pricing, and a free gift with every order for a limited time. See our massive product mix online right now. Click PassionOnline.co.uk, the world's sexiest online shop.
With Christmas well and truly upon us, you may be thinking about digging out your old festive CDs. The thing with Christmas compilations is they get thrown in some box somewhere. By the time it comes around again, you've forgotten where you put them and have to go out and buy some more. Well, we have the solution. Just follow these 3 easy steps to seasonal satisfaction. 1. Switch on your computer. 2. Go to playradiouk.com. And 3. Click on Play Christmas. Play Christmas UK. So good, it's Santa's favourite station.
PlayRadioUK.com is offering you the chance to get your hands on rock, metal and punk t-shirts plus other band merchandise from just £11.95. Also includes free UK shipping. For more details, click on the Loud Clothing banner at PlayRadioUK.com. The Tommy Boyd Show, only on Play 2 UK.
Had a very interesting email from Louis. Skype chat, I should say. Skype chat's coming on, overtaking email. Kids don't email anymore. I've got a Skype caller. Who is this? Hello.
Hey, it's Christopher from West Wickham.
Hello, friend. I'm sorry, I didn't recognise the CFWW. Can I ask whether you kids would mind calling yourselves by the names that you want to be called when you come to air? It's just that when I see that, there's all sorts of monikers that people like to use on Skype and things, and it just leaves me slightly short of being able to give you a decent introduction.
Right. I'll try and remember that.
So having had your nuts kicked, what did you want to say?
Well, you were reading out Louis' message. I wouldn't want to cut him short.
Let's do that then, shall we? Louis says, we were playing a clip from Les Ross, showing how little he knows about humidifiers earlier on, and Louis has emailed, and I like this. He says, I would like to put a humidifier in the same room as a dehumidifier and just let them fight it out.
So who wins?
That's great, isn't it?
I like the thinking.
Huh?
Yeah.
And he's also sent in a piece of audio, so thanks for that. Louis says, great piece of audio here of a phone message left by a complete twat of a male. The backstory on this is that a girl named Olga was out with her friends in the Marina district of San Francisco, known for being a popular hangout for douches. What's a douche?
I don't know what a douche is.
Christopher, what's a douche?
Is it a scumbag?
Something Americans use for an insult. Fat Steve calls me a douche sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she talked to this guy named Dimitri for all of 2 minutes. Then she gave him her card that said, give me a call. The above is the message he left. Listen to the whole thing. It just keeps getting better and better. I won't even tell you my favourite parts because I don't want to ruin anything. Just listen. That sounds good.
Oh, we should give it a listen.
We'll do that, shall we? I don't think we can do it whilst we've got Christopher on the line,
No.
or can we? Shall we try?
You can. I'll just be quiet. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right, I've clicked twice. I'm a twat.
You're a douche.
I think a douche has, I don't know.
I don't know what douche means, but I'm calling it, sorry.
Something to do with the vagina, I think. I don't want to know. I've clicked on it and nothing's happened. Try one more time and then I'll have to come back to it. Here we are. I've now got a website, Holy Taco, and it describes this as the douchiest phone call ever made. So if I click on play, we should all be able to...
hi there, Olga. It's Dimitri. Sorry I had to leave such a rushed message with you when we met the other day. I just want to quickly give you my phone number, and I had to get the heck out of the area. In any event, I figure I better leave you a more detailed message and explain why I approached you. I am single. I have no trouble meeting women. I mean, women approach me 6-7 times a day. But I'm very particular about what I like. You're extremely elegant. I couldn't take my eyes off of you, and your friends were very jealous. Even if they say they weren't, they were envious of the fact that I approached you, and I was very taken by you. Elegant women are very rare. I'm Greek, and I'm very particular about what I like. So I'm giving you an opportunity here. I don't know if you pick up the messages on the weekend, but I'm working on a movie script, so I'm pretty much around all weekend doing that. I left you my number, 416-9184. This looks like a landline, and if it is, you may not get the message till Monday. But when you do, call me, and then we'll get together for coffee and chat and let the romance begin. You look very taken aback by my approach, and I hope that isn't timidness. I hope it was just a little bit of shock at being approached so directly. Because I don't really date timid women, because I'm a very direct, very passionate, very assertive man, and I want a woman who's very independent and strong. So anyway, we'll talk about that, but I just wanted to formally introduce myself. Now I have. I leave the ball in your court. You call me as soon as you have the courage to. Okay, Olga? Talk to you soon. Bye.
Hi there, Olga. It's Dimitri calling again, the guy from the street. I left you a message several days ago. You said you were interested. Now, here's the way I work. I don't like leaving second messages, but I like you. You're a very elegant woman. You're very attractive. But, you know, I don't play that game. I know your friends tell you not to return calls. You're playing games like you see on stupid TV shows. So here's how it's going to work. It is now 4:30 on Wednesday. Now, I'll assume that you've already left work, because, you know, some people leave early, and I'll grant you that. But if I do not receive a phone call back from you by 3 o'clock Thursday afternoon, I'm no longer interested, and you can erase my number. I don't play games like that. I'm completely single. I'm very intelligent. I'm great in bed. I make great money. Believe it or not, I'm a complete catch. I've only been single 4 months. I had a long-distance relationship. You know, it went a year. It's very tough to maintain it like that, and it didn't work out. There's nothing wrong with me. Matter of fact, I'm one of the few men in the city that has nothing wrong with him. So I'm giving you that 3 o'clock deadline. If I don't hear from you, you lose my number. I'm erasing yours right now, so you won't be hearing back from me.
Thank goodness.
So that's it. 3 o'clock tomorrow, or you can just completely forget it. Now, I understand if you've got other issues, like maybe you're not playing games, maybe you've had, I don't know, maybe you were abused in childhood, maybe your mother has cancer, you're going to chemo, maybe you're just a person who's extremely frightened or has an anxiety disorder, maybe you're on some medication for that, I don't know. There could be another issue that I'm not aware of. But nobody says, call me, hands a person a business card, and then doesn't return calls. It's extremely passive-aggressive. You should actually look that up, passive-aggressive personality disorder. And you let me know if you've got issues, psychological issues, if you're on any sort of medication for anxiety or depression, I'm not interested. Okay? But if you're psychologically normal,
like
and
me,
you haven't called me because there's been some horrible thing that's happened in your life which prevented you, that's fine. But otherwise, don't call me. Okay? Bye.
What's his number? I wish I knew him. I want his number.
Oh, Louis, man.
That was genius.
Yeah, now I need to get that onto my...
Oh, I love that.
I need to get that into the library.
Don't forget, he's a catch.
He's a cat. I need to get that into the library. That goes in the library. We're building an archive of just...
Brilliant.
Friggin' brilliant bits of audio. And Louis, that is a peach.
Did you enjoy that, Chris?
Yes, I sure did.
He's a nutter.
What was your favourite bit?
Oh, the guy is the only person on the settee that's completely perfect, or something like that. Yeah,
that's completely normal.
That doesn't have anything that isn't perfect. Yeah, or something like that.
Oh, that was sumptuous. Thank you very much indeed. Whilst everything's going on, I'm just going to have to copy the link and send it to myself.
Dear.
So, Christopher, was there a particular reason why you wanted to bend our ear this evening? If so, you'll have to address it to Nikki whilst I do this link thing.
All right, then. Well, that piece of news you read out there about the scientists that are warning about the rom-coms being slightly dangerous for us.
Yeah.
I thought, who on earth decided to do a study on that? I can't believe people are out there taking that seriously.
I know. Shouldn't they be doing something a little bit better with their time, scientists, like finding a cure for cancer or something, than worrying about... there's nothing wrong with a romantic comedy, is there?
Well, no, and it's like just people taking it too seriously. I mean, are these intelligent scientists honestly telling me that they thought, that was actually a real picture about life and what they might actually experience with a lady friend of theirs or something?
Don't you think a film like that is just a little bit of escapism? It's just a bit of light-hearted fun, you just put your brain in a jar, watch it, and just, that's what those films are about. You don't have to worry about anything, you just go with the flow, don't you?
Yeah, it's like that whole James Whale thing again, being taken too seriously. I mean, I can't actually believe that people take people's opinions that seriously.
And who is paying these scientists to do studies like that? Who goes to the scientists and says, right, okay, this is what we want you to do this month. We want you to go and work out about romantic comedies, how they affect people. I mean, who's paying them to do that?
Yeah, probably us. I don't know.
Well, that's my point. That's what worries me. Surely they should be doing some better things with their time.
Can I just say, as a hard-bitten journalist, and I served my 2 solid years underground in Fleet Street, where you learn a lot. This is one of those stories that smacks to me of a PR exercise, and it's possibly got something to do with, I don't know, the bed industry is very good at getting PR stories out that sound like news stories but actually are promotions for beds. And 9 out of 10 surveys are just generated by PR companies acting on behalf of businesses who want it reported that 33% of all men think that women look really good in sneakers. And then you discover that this survey was paid for by the manufacturers of some sneakers. And because journalists are so hard pushed to fill all the airtime that they have at the moment, they go with it.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I find it really sad. I also find it sad that sometimes you have to point out to young journalists that this goes on. People who are actually doing the job, not trainee journalists, which is what I was for 2 bloody years, but people are actually doing the job and writing the news and going out and covering stories. You explain to them that the vast bulk of these things that land on their desk that they go off and do interviews about are pure exercises in PR. That's a shock. An even bigger shock is that some of them go, well, so what? We've got to fill the bulletin. And it pisses me off. So it does. What does it do?
It pisses you off.
Pisses me off.
Pisses you off.
It does piss me off. So I'm just going to look it up. Stay with us, Christopher. Do we have anything to go on? And I'm not going to devote much time to this because it's not that interesting.
Go on.
Do we have anything to go on the story? Where's me Google? I can't function in life without
So
me
we're trying to
Google.
work out what the advertising is behind it, is what you're saying.
Read the story
Okay,
out again,
yeah,
Nicky.
pass it over here and I'll read it out and then we'll see if we can glean anything from
Read
this.
it out in a fatuous, stupid, girly voice or something.
In a what?
Fatuous voice.
No.
Okay.
Scientists are slapping a relationship warning on romantic comedies. They say fans of movies like Pretty Woman and You've Got Mail have unrealistic expectations of love. Dr. Bayan Holmes from Edinburgh's Heriot Watt University
How do you
worked
spell
on
that?
What, the doctor?
Yeah.
B-J-A-R-N-E.
Is that his first name, yeah?
That's his surname.
The second name?
That's the only name we've got, Dr. Bayan.
I think that's his first name.
Oh, sorry, yes, it is.
yeah.
Holmes. I didn't see that bit there. Yes, Dr. Bayan Holmes, and it's Edinburgh's Heriot Watt University.
I'm going to look
if you want
him
to
up.
add that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he worked on the study, and he says some people need to get back to reality.
Right, well, this might or might not be the guy, and this actually might not be a PR thing. He's a young-looking bloke, and he's been given a funny name in life. So he's got to make a name for himself. He's the director of the family and personal... He has a BSc from Lund University in Sweden and a PhD in social psychology from the University of Massachusetts. Prior to joining the Heriot Watt University, he was instructor of psychology at Harvard Medical School. Is there anything in that news bulletin that suggests that he's suggesting what people should do instead of watching romantic comedies?
No, he just says you need to get back to reality. That's the only thing he says. And we shouldn't have such unrealistic expectations of love. But, you know, there are some nice love stories out there. It does happen sometimes.
I can't see why he would want to focus his attention on this.
So there doesn't seem to be any marketing sort of thing going with this.
No.
So
I
is
can't
it actually a
find
proper study in this case?
Well,
on this rare occasion?
No, I've only been on it 30 seconds.
Yeah, but it hasn't jumped out at you, so it's not very good marketing then, is
When
it?
I was a trainee, I used to have to spend days uncovering stuff like this and spelling it right. And we used manual typewriters, so it used to... could you please send me the link of the amazing passive-aggressive voicemail calls? Cheers from Mark B.
You should look that up. Passive-aggressive.
I'm going to do that, because I can. What a service this is. I'm enjoying this. Live on air. People ring you up. Well, they don't ring you up. They email and say, could you just send me that link that you're just archiving there? So I send the guy the link. I love doing that.
Great, isn't it?
I'm surprised that not everybody in broadcasting emails back to the people who email them. I do.
I always did.
Do?
Do.
Okay. Peter Collins says, can I just say one thing, Nicky, about you, Tommy? He can be a bit leery sometimes, but at heart he's a good lad. But, Nicky, what a fantastic storyteller Tommy is. I would love to go camping with Tommy.
I know what they're saying by that, yeah.
Every time I hear that bloke email in, I want to play Susudio.
Which bloke?
Peter Collins.
Every time you hear him email in, you want to play Susudio. Why?
That was Phil Collins.
Yeah. I don't know, just every time I hear it, I hear that Susudio.
The surname Collins does that to you?
It does.
Okay.
Not Ian Collins, but Peter Collins, but it's a P.
Anyway, back to the camping.
Yeah. Thank you for biding your time with that observation, Christopher, though. Peter continues, at midnight around the campfire, Tommy would be telling his tales and fables. What a great experience. That would be, Nicky, and don't get me wrong, don't think Tommy make things up, but I have a funny feeling Tommy would struggle with the lie detector test on the Jeremy Carr show. Do you know what I've toyed
Have you ever been on one? Have you ever...
Lie detector test, yeah, I have.
And?
Well, yeah, it kind of worked. It kind of worked. Have you?
No.
No. Drink is just as good.
Yeah.
Oh,
dear.
See?
Oh, dear.
That's what I do. I just get more pissed.
Yeah,
Anyway.
and then everything comes out.
Yeah.
Oh.
What I'd like to try is a show here, you could do this here, where I promised to answer truthfully any question anybody asked.
You've got to do that.
You'd like to do, you'd like me to do that, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
You want to be here when I do that, don't you?
Yeah, I'm going to be here.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
Why?
Well, because I'm just saying, it could be bloody. It could be... Would you be interested
I'm
in...
a grown woman, I can take it.
Hearing somebody tell the honest truth, Christopher?
Yes. In fact, I know somebody who used to do it, but, well, not quite in the same way as broadcasting it, but yeah.
Why did they used to do it?
Well, it was actually Ian Lee, but he didn't actually broadcast the answer. He only told the one listener that phoned in about it, and then he sort of bleeped it out. So for you to do it openly would be quite an interesting way of doing it, I suppose.
I did, I'm going to claim this one, because I did actually sort of do it on a radio station called Talk Radio some years ago, but you know what people wanted? It was really depressing. People didn't want to ask, nice or juicy personal questions or things, They wanted to know how much I earned.
Yeah.
Which I found
So you really would, hand on heart, have answered anything? Personal...
Well, not there, but I would here.
Yeah.
Not there. Because it was a different environment. It was conventional radio. It was old radio, old media. And there were things that you just couldn't do. But here, where you have complete creative freedom, I think I might have the courage to answer any question that anybody else...
You're backpedaling. You went, I think I might.
I'd only find out when I find out. I will only find out when I know what the questions are. And it wouldn't really work two ways, but I would want to ask anybody who asked me a question that I answered honestly. I would want to ask those persons a similar question.
Yeah, that'd be good.
It's a format,
that'd be quite
it?
a nice way of doing it, yeah.
It's a series.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a daytime series.
I don't think I could do it.
Could you not?
No.
No. No. Is that because there are things that you are ashamed of, or that would have ramification?
Yeah, probably more the ramification.
Okay, that's interesting in itself. Or is it just nice sometimes having some things that belong to you?
No, because I'm actually quite open about everything, I think.
Yes.
But just, I think, you don't want to do anything to upset anybody else in life, and maybe... If someone asks me something, I
don't mind liars. They're quite interesting. I hate people who exaggerate in order to make whatever little thing it is they have to say a bit more interesting. Kids
you get people like that, don't you?
Teenagers do it an awful lot. Yeah, you hear them in the kitchen when my sons are around. They come in, one of them go, "Oh no, tell you, funniest thing ever happened. The funniest thing," and it's not. It's that a cone fell over in the street and a car knocked into it. And you think, well, okay, that's a story. But tell it well, and it is interesting. You don't have to precede it with a massive amount of exaggeration. Anyway, Christopher, is there a question that you'd like to ask me or Nikki in order to pilot this new format?
Oh, crumbs, you put me on the spot here. Okay, well, I don't know anything much at all about you, Nikki, so forgive me for this. I'm just saying this on the spot.
Okay.
What is your bra size?
My bra size, I'm happy to tell you, is 36B.
Oh, bra size! I thought you were asked her what are her brass eyes. And I thought, I was in a parallel universe. Where two people were aware that the woman had brass eyes, and I didn't. What are your brass eyes? Or I thought perhaps it's some kind of a piece of currency that occurs on perhaps a programme hosted by Jasper Carrot.
Don't. Oh,
anyway,
terrible.
Christopher, I've got to go. I'm grateful.
No,
for
he's got to ask you a question. I've answered a question.
What?
You've got to ask Tommy a question
You
now.
did say plural. You didn't say what is your brass eyes. You did say what are your brass eyes.
Did I?
You did.
I don't remember that. But he's trying to get out of being asked a question. Have you noticed this, Christopher?
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dodging it now.
Oh God, yeah. I'm not sure I want to ask these questions. They're a bit
personal. Ask.
No, I'm not brave enough, really.
Well, okay, fair enough. In that case, I won't ask you a horrible one. All right, well, have a think about it, ruminate, and maybe come back. All right, fella?
Yeah, sure.
Cheers.
I like that word, by the way.
Ruminate.
Ruminate.
It's a good word, isn't it? Mentally, I meant. We've got some more clips suggested. Tamsin says, why don't you go to YouTube and find Chris Moyle's Hallelujah Lambooner parody? Which looks good. And I've had an email from a Chinese person, in Chinese.
Really?
And Louise says, I was going to explain what a douche is, but you just said you didn't want to know, so I won't. I do.
I want to know, because I don't know. And I called you it, and I might not have wanted to call you it.
I think a douchebag is to do with feminine hygiene. I think. I don't know. But I do remember being called a douchebag the first time I went to America. And,
But if they use it openly in America, then it can't be really gross.
No.
Can it?
Unless it's like, well, Burke. You know you get called a Burke?
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
No.
It's Cockney rhyming slang. For the Barclay Hunt.
Oh.
I know.
Oh.
Well,
my mum uses that word. She'll be shocked.
So the stepson son, Burke. And nobody pulled them up for it.
No.
Because nobody knew.
No.
Anywho, Louise, do tell. And some more silly clips after we've heard these important messages.
PlayRadioUK.com, part of the Something Corporation. Love film? Then you'll love PlayRadioUK.com with low prices on Blu-ray DVDs. There's also 40% off and save on DVDs under $5. Just click on the lovefilm.com banner at PlayRadioUK.com.
Ever imagined yourself behind the wheel of a Ferrari, Aston Martin or Lamborghini? We'll turn it into a reality with an everyman driving experience. Take control of a Mini from £30, a Ferrari from £75, or try the Audi R8 Thrill Experience from £99. We can also offer that extra special gift this Christmas with one of our driving experience vouchers. For more details or to book, call the company with 25 years in the business. Everyman Driving Experiences on 01 455 841 670 or go to www.everymanracing.co.uk. Your driving adventure starts here.
This is the sound.
Is your FM radio boring you? Can't get a signal on your DAB? Isn't it about time for a change? Play Radio UK prides itself on providing you with 15 dedicated services, offering the widest choice at the highest quality, including Play 1, Play 2 and Play Dance. PlayRadioUK.com. Why go anywhere else? Play 2 UK, The Tommy Boyd Show.
It's 5 to 11 is the UK time. It's Tommy and Nikki. It's Play Radio, and we're just having fun knocking some clips around, some bits that we have built into a silly, interesting talk library, and the library is going to expand. Already this evening, Louis, I think it's Louis, has sent in a terrific clip, which listeners have been asking me to email the link over to them, and I've done that. And
that's one of the best things I've heard in a long time.
It was funny, wasn't
Dimitri.
It was pretty damn funny.
I see on that clipboard there's some ones of you.
Yes? You want to hear?
Can I hear some of those? Or one of those?
Sure thing.
Because I don't know if I've heard any of those. And if we're sort of embarrassing other people, let's embarrass ourselves as well.
Okay, well, let's have a look. This is me getting caught out by a clever emailer when I was on the BBC. And this did catch me out, and I'm proud of it.
And Drew Peacock has also emailed from Barnsley. Hello there, Tommy. Can I say your show is the best I've heard for a while? Here up north, the best we can get is a local radio station, which is manned by 20-year-olds starting out, who think that comedy is about attacking celebrities and not natural wit. Sincerely, Drew Peacock. Thanks for that, Drew. Kind man.
I didn't spot it.
No.
This is the best one of those.
I like that.
You like that one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here's a DJ on BBC local radio. I think it's Radio Leicester.
OK, let's get to our first dedication. Dear Chris, please say a big hello to Connie Lingers, who's 69 on Tuesday. She'll be enjoying my meat and 2 veg on Sunday at 12, which are all the very best, and tell her I look forward to seeing her when she comes. Thanks ever so much, says Ivan Ardon. And he says, please say hello to Bill as well. And that comes from Ivan going out to Connie in Thurmby Lodge here in Leicestershire.
No,
that is not for real.
That.
No,
Yeah,
I can't.
I'm pretty certain it is.
How dumb do you have to be?
Pretty dumb.
That's stupid.
Well, not stupid as this one. This one is quite poignant because it's almost certainly genuine. It comes from BBC Radio Merseyside. And you know BBC local radio often has those little kind of speciality interest shows tucked away on obscure weekend slots.
Yes.
Usually in the gathering gloom, when the only alternative on television is Songs of Praise, there's something equally macabrely odd. And this is an elderly chap. Well, I'll just let you listen, Nikki.
Hello, Clive Connor here with Music and Memories.
Wait.
Our theme for this week is Come, spelt C-O-M-E. But to start the programme, we have an entirely different spelling of that word, because it's Tommy Handley singing Come, Pretty One, Come.
Oh, so numb, a big fat girl said that she dived off my dum. Come, pretty one, come, pretty one, come, 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 come. Come, 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 come. Come, pretty one, come, pretty one.
Oh.
Okay. Now, discuss.
Oh, my God.
Because that was Tommy Handley, who was a huge black and white film star. Television, I think he did as well. Going back about 60 years. And as for Clive Karma...
Is that what his name was? Oh, no.
Hello, Clive Connor here.
Clive Karma here. Yeah? And it's his weekly show, and he comes in...
Weekly? So it wasn't just a one-off?
No, I think it was a weekly show.
They were desperate?
No, because
we
he
need
says
to
this
fill
week.
this spot.
Well, hold on.
Oh, my Lord.
Where are we?
I like this bit of music, by the way.
Hello, Clive Connor here with Music and Memories.
Clive Karma.
It could be a one-off special.
Hold on.
Our theme for this week is...
This week, our theme for this week. You see, so last week it was...
What radio station was that going out on?
I think it was BBC, I'm pretty certain it's BBC Radio Merseyside, which is a huge local radio station.
God.
It's Come, spelled C-O-M-E.
Now, how else would he have spelt it?
I don't know, because when he started spelling it, I was thinking, well, where's this going?
This week our theme is Come, spelt C-O-M-E, as opposed to...
C-U-M.
Yes, it does have that playground spelling, doesn't it? How we used to laugh whenever the man introduced Come Dancing.
Oh, yes.
But to start the programme, we have an entirely different spelling of...
So what is the spelling, then, of the Tommy Handley song, Come Pretty One Come?
I don't know.
But I'd listen, wouldn't you, to this show?
Oh.
Right, thank you very much indeed for that. Let's have a look.
I wonder if he's still alive.
Clive Karma. Victor is Skyping in, so let's rush to Victor Huglianov, is it?
Yes, indeed. Hello, how are you? Victor Huliganov at your service.
At your cervix. Beautiful, thank you.
I wanted to ask you a question, if I may.
Go right for it.
If I understand that I can ask anything what I like, yes?
Oh, you want to play the I will tell the truth game. Okay, sure.
Yes, I want to ask you a little bit about something what you said 1 year ago. Don't worry, it's not about the last jerk in the shop, even though that's seasonal at the moment.
Yeah.
It was about what you said about 1 year ago. You told us about a very interesting thing. I was listening to it on the podcast afterwards while I was driving around, and I listened a couple of times to it because I was so fascinated. You told me, me, but a lot of other people as well, that you did a little trick on the Ofcom. You turn off the studio or something and pretend in the meantime you just turn off this power cut, so there's a break in the broadcasting, and then afterwards you have the people calling in what was really you, complaining about what you said in the meantime, yes?
Yes.
And then afterwards you got real people,
yes.
None of whom you knew, that none of whom could actually hear anything because it was nothing.
Yes.
And they actually then rang up and complain about what was said in the meantime, just out of the herd mentality, what they heard the people complain before them. And